Alrighty folks, good morning. It's Connie, or is it afternoon? Well, we're still safe in the morning hour. It's 11:33 on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's actually Wednesday, May 6th, after Cinco de Mayo. You're probably wondering to yourself, hey, why is her hair done? What the hell happened? Did they actually get a production budget at Distraction News with hair and makeup? No, folks, we didn't. I actually had to go out into the field today for my real job. Believe it or not, Distraction News isn't what I do for a living. Isn't that crazy? I know. And you'll be happy to know I did find my glasses and my makeup case, because let's just face it, it would be a scary, scary thing for any potential client of mine to have seen me the way I was earlier. And apparently I found my curling iron too. I haven't found my hairdresser at all, but hopefully she'll surface up sometime in the future. I did find clothing as well. I'm dressed, see, in jeans. Crazy, I know. Anyway, there's so much news coming at us, folks. Let's get right to it. All right. First of all, face masks. An interesting thing happens when we have to wear face masks, and I had no idea. I brought my son to the grocery store last night, and he literally had... Sorry, folks, I'm gonna try and keep it together here. He couldn't wear the blue face mask. Apparently, there's some fibrous material inside of it that made him break out into an all-out twitching fit, where he was literally like jerking around like a crazy person because he couldn't have the mask on. And when he got out of the store, he literally ripped the thing off and threw it into the garbage. That poor kid. I don't think he'll ever recover from having to wear a face mask. Coincidentally, more on face masks, this kind particular. I was in the office taking photographs for work, and I noticed one thing. My nose started running underneath the face mask. Now, you can't really take your hand and wipe your nose like you normally would, because let's face it, we have all done this before. When we have a little bit coming out, let's be real with each other, right? But what we can't do is that anymore. And I didn't have a tissue, and I don't want to grab a tissue in the doctor's office, because does that have COVID on it? I don't know. It's a whole shit show out there. So just so you know, if you've got a runny nose under your mask, you're not alone. Anywho, on to more shocking information coming in from Distraction News, folks. I have to put my glasses on because that makes me smarter. Dr. Fauci coming under scrutinization by some woman on a YouTube video. I really can't remember her name, but she claims a lot of things. Being interrogated, being arrested, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and claims to have found the cure for HIV long before it ever came out into circulation. There's a whole slew of things coming attack under Dr. Fauci. More to come on that. I really don't know what to think. It makes you question everything. Have we been held inside of our homes for no reason at all? One wonders. One does suspect, because what else does one have to do but conjure up conspiracy theories at this point? I mean, truly, is it wrong? Is it right? We'll never know. Is there American greed? Why, of course there is. Crazier things have happened. I mean, who would have thought O.J. Simpson would have sliced up his wife and a person who was delivering something to his wife? I mean, those two innocent folks, they didn't see it coming. I mean, crazier things have happened. Look what's happening right now. If you would have told me 3 months ago we would have been locked inside our homes for a few months, along with wearing masks out in public, I would have thought you were crazy. So this stuff about Dr. Fauci is not shocking at all. We'll see what happens in the real news about this stuff. Anywho, back to Distraction News. Wow. This one is shocking. It was from one of our correspondents here at Distraction News, Debbie. And Debbie sent me some side information on some mutations of the C19 virus. We're calling it a mutant situation here. Mutant. Not to be confused with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that's actually what I think of when I think of mutation, is those little turtles who lived under the ground and provided us with such entertainment. Am I right, or am I right? Anywho, back to the C19 situation. Turns out in California, they're seeing that this virus has actually... Folks, you're not gonna believe it even if I told you. It's become more contagious. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, yeah. Anywho, on to our next piece of news. You see this face? You probably remember it. And what you're thinking is, wow, such a delicious snack treat. When you think of Little Debbie, not Little Debbie's, by the way, that is not the way you say it, people. There weren't little Debbies running around. There's not like a plural of Debbies. There weren't like several faces on the box. It was one singular Debbie. And interestingly enough, coming out of Distraction News, we're finding an identical looking little girl who grew up in Bolingbrook, Illinois, looks awfully suspicious to the face on that box. Now, when I contacted the company, I didn't really contact the company, people, let's get ready. When I Googled the company, I found out that they originated out of a bakery that was going bankrupt after World War II. And in the 60s, they named Little Debbie their delicious snack cake. I mean, who doesn't love a Little Debbie? Don't come at me with some ho-hos, because that's just not gonna work. I don't want a Twinkie, I don't want a ho-ho. I want a delicious snack cake called Little Debbie. Oh yeah. How do you eat it? Do you peel it off like one at a time, or do you just shove the whole thing in your mouth? Anyway, that's for a different time and place. What I want to talk to you about is this. Doesn't she look an awful lot like the little girl on the box? I see a lawsuit coming. On to our next hot topic. Land sharks, people. We reported earlier that murdering hornets were coming at us, and that they were going to be carrying their little knives, and they were going to be stabbing our friends. But what we weren't suspecting, land sharks making a resurgence. Well, making an appearance. I don't think they're making a resurgence. A resurgence would be that they were here before. I think they were here before, according to Saturday Night Live. Anyway, land sharks are coming, so be careful, lock up your kids, and just do what you've been doing. Also, speaking of murdering hornets, see? You see, people? You see this image? This is Jason Voorhees. He's come back as a murdering hornet, bearing the little knives that I was talking about earlier. Jason, oddly enough, did weld a machete, so just stay inside, stay inside. Except if you're one of those folks who lives in the Amityville house. So you want to get out. Listen to the voices and get out, because you are being told don't stay inside. Just go somewhere else. Go to a Holiday Inn. No, don't go to a Holiday Inn. Those are closed. Go to a neighbor's house. Nope, you can't do that either. They will not let you in. Just buy another fucking house. Just get out of that one and buy another house, folks. Don't be in this house. That's bad. Bleeding walls and flies coming, and then your wife floating over the bed. That's a bad thing. Much, much worse than the virus, people. Speaking of much, much worse, it doesn't get much worse than this. You see this? This is why all Zoom conferences, you should block your camera. You forget that you are being videoed, and we all pick our nose. We're all guilty of it, people. Nobody has gone through life without getting up there, digging one out, and hopefully discarding it somewhere, like in a toilet, down your drain, or in a garbage. If you've wiped it on your car seat, you're just disgusting. Anyway, we have a full-fledged nose picker going on here in a Zoom call, and oddly enough, they're a stalker of Matt's doppelganger. No, they're a doppelganger of Matt's stalker. More to come on this. We have to really investigate. Speaking of more to come, a source of Distraction News, Tammy, sent in something about Ms. Frizzle. We need to get it straight too here. It's Ms. Frizzle, not Mrs. Frizzle. Ms. Frizzle, widely known as a very, very popular teacher back in the 90s in a classroom where she also ran a busing company, a magic busing company nonetheless. And that magic busing company, well, people are now thinking, bring back Ms. Frizzle. Ms. Frizzle could not only figure out what the shit is going on with this virus, but she probably would have drove that bus right into the virus and exploded it inside of all of our bodies, and we wouldn't have to deal with this right now. So if you've seen this woman who hasn't been seen since 1997, could you give the DNN, Distraction News Network, a little jingle? Just inbox us, whatever. We're here 24 hours a day for you, and we are really looking for Mrs. Frizzle. No, see, I just did it. It's Ms. Frizzle. Ms. Frizzle. She can solve the coronavirus pandemic. This just in also, another correspondent of Distraction News, Roxanne, is encouraging people to shower. Shower, people. You're at home, but you should shower. You'll feel better about yourself. Showering is always good, especially if you're going on a Zoom call. Because I'll go back to this gentleman, he, she, not sure, but we can clearly tell that they haven't showered in quite some time and are a nose picker. Anyway, off to check the weather, folks, because we here at Distraction News Network, we really want to be a full news service to you. So we're gonna go out and we're gonna throw it over to Connie, who's gonna check the weather for us and give us a full weather forecast.
Distraction News weather girl here, reporting live from the field. It's a beautiful day outside. The weather looks good. That's what we're reporting here. It looks good. It feels good. Get the hell outside because it's a good day to enjoy the beautiful weather. Coming up over the week, we have a 50% chance of it being sunny and a 50% chance of it raining. Hell, I don't know. I'm a weather person. We don't know really what the weather is going to do on a daily basis. So we go with a 50% chance. There could be some sun. There could be a cloud. You could have a rain shower. Even if I told you there wasn't going to be a rain shower, you'd still have one, potentially, because it's a 50% chance. You get what I'm saying? But right now, if you step outdoors and you're in the Algonquin area, you have a pretty good shot of it being sunny. Heck, I don't know, if you're in Plainfield, Illinois, it could be sunny where you are too. Stay safe, folks. Distraction News Network, Weather Girl.
Wow, Connie, you really do give us just a sunny disposition on weather, I've got to say. I mean, you're spot on with your 50% accuracy of what it's going to be like, and I like that you provided us with a live in the field taste of weather. I mean, isn't that what weather should be, folks? People going outside to actually show you the weather. Connie, you're doing a brilliant job. Cheryl Scott, move the hell over. Here comes Connie, the weather girl. Anyway, back to the news, folks. Our last feature on the news is a really important one because it pertains to the state of Illinois and our 5-phase plan that has been rolled out by our governor, J.G. Wentworth. Not only is he responsible for 877 Cash Now, in case you need it, people, but he is also responsible for rolling out this 5-point plan. Oddly enough, don't you think he looks awfully similar to the Pillsbury Doughboy? I'm just saying. That's not a part of our news. That's just my observance. Is it just me? Okay. Anyway, J.G. Wentworth wants us to know that there's a 5-phase, that's 10. There's a 5-phase plan that's going to be rolling out here. We've already completed phase 1, I think. And maybe phase 2? Are we in phase 3? I don't know, people. The whole plan's confusing as fuck. So, we're just gonna go on and keep wearing our face masks because that seems to be what's at the end of every single phase, except for phase 5. Phase 5, I think, is in the clear phase, which I don't know. Like, again, confusing. So we're just going to leave it there. There's the graphic of the 5-phase plan, and you could probably that's a tongue twister, people. You try and say 5-phase plan several times in a row, you're going to slip up. Anyway, it's a 5-phase plan. It has something to do with the beginning of the virus and some miracle cure. I don't know when any of these phases are going to be rolled out. I think there's a date of March 29th, somewhere in between phase 1 and phase 5. And that's it, and face masks. And life as we previously knew it no longer existing. Anyway, that's the distraction news of the day. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned. Always be trusty in the DNN network. No, that would be DN Network, because DNN is actually the word network inside DNN. Anyway, Distraction News Network, Connie signing off. Have a great day. It's a shit show out there, people. Stay safe.